All right, y'all. This is the Ja Renee. I got a lot to say, and I'm going to cut to the chase. So I am just shuffling the cards, and before getting into the message today, I'm going to go ahead and pray over the cards. So glory to you in the highest. You are so beautiful. Thank you, beautiful one. There is no one like you. There is no one like you. And I am so grateful and thankful to be connected to you and that you allow me to be part of your team. Thank you for protecting myself and protecting the collective as I channel these messages. Okay. All right, so the first card out, what is this? The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So that really kind of speaks to me about money, you know, and kind of the lack of it, more or less, unfortunately. So, you know, I don't know if right now you're truly going through kind of dark times, so to speak, with your finances. But let's kind of dig into it and see what else is going on. And it can also not necessarily, well, clearly the success and you know your business or something that you're doing is tied in to your finances, but it can also be the lack of the loss of a business or something along those lines. And what I'm getting is that, you know, you're kind of disappointed on the fact that you are not able to expand on a particular project, and that you've kind of had to withdraw from something that you've been working really hard on. So let's get more of the energy. You may want to actually do some meditation, do some deep thinking, and try to figure out, like re-strategize a plan to figure out what is the best way of actually kind of executing your plan. Because the idea is to save money. You know, I see that, you know, maybe in the past, when you did have money, you had a hard time spending it because you were scared that you wouldn't have any. But it's understanding that in the right energy, money will flow to you. So you don't have to be scared of money. Money is made to be spent, and that's the reason why you have it. So you're hopefully, and what if you are kind of looking at things right, not competing in competitions that you that really you're not even intending to be in, and being a part of challenges that you don't intend to be in. As long as you are kind of staying out of that and being aware of anybody's manipulation attempts, you can properly save your money. But let's get one more of these, and then we're going to get some energy to maybe tell us what's going on in this story. You know, saving money is really just about investing in you. And however is the easiest way for you to invest in you, that's how you should go about it. So, for instance, if it's easier for you to pay yourself by saying, hey, I'm going to pay myself $80 every time that I get paid, then that's something that is going to amount to, you know, something that you need at a time that you actually need it. And it's also something that helps you keep like out of sight, out of mind. So, for instance, if you have a job where you're able to contribute into a 401k, contribute into a employee stock purchase plan, or just simply a savings, establishing a savings account. That's probably the best way of going about doing something, because, just put a little bit away. That's all you really need to do. Because, yeah, the card that came out now is your abundance. It's the Ace of Pentacles. And what I'm seeing with that is with doing the right things, with, kind of really just being in the right mind, you're able to get the kind of money that you want. So after getting this, getting a couple of T cards, a couple of energy cards, I am going to pull some money cards, because this message definitely seems to be about money. We have the Ten of Pentacles that came out first, and then we also have the Eight of Pentacles on the board as well. Okay. All right, so what I'm seeing is there has been a lot of interference when it's come to you making money. Whether if this is just, maybe the jobs that you've been working at, maybe you haven't really been able to find a group of people that you align with, and because of it, you weren't really comfortable at the job. Maybe it was a situation to where you had bosses, that really just belittled you, or didn't really make you feel like they tried to make you feel less than, and didn't want you to know how much of an asset you were to that establishment. Okay, but what I'm seeing is that you are somebody that always kind of keeps a positive disposition, and because you keep that positive disposition, the divine is never going to leave you in a place where people are intending to abuse you, or planning to abuse you, or, where it kind of gets that real. Last summer, somebody could have done something to you that you really found to be kind of messed up. Like you really didn't see it coming. You were not okay with that. But again, whatever situation it is, divine is going to move you out of it, because you don't deserve to have to deal with, just negativity and people that's not adding to your purpose in life, who it is that you are, and what the divine has called you to be. Because at the end of the day, that's what life is all about. Okay. Maybe something occurred too, that you helped somebody out of. So maybe, when it comes to money, maybe you loaned a large lump sum of money to somebody, and you expected to get it back. Whether or not you got it back, maybe you didn't. But let's see. Even if you didn't get it back, it's something to understand that the divine got you regardless, as well as the divine saw that these people said that they were going to pay you back and didn't. And people sometimes have a hard time accepting that when they do something to somebody else, that they'll actually get a payback, like they'll receive karma for it. Because karma is something that you say. It's not necessarily something you see until you see it. But it's really just hoping that everybody understands that it's extremely important to treat people the way that you want to be treated at all times. And the reason why that's important is because of karma. If you don't treat somebody the way that you want to be treated, the likelihood of you being treated the way you treated them is high. You get it? So you always want to, everything always comes full circle. This is why it's important for us to every human to kind of treat as yourself. What's the difference between you and me? If you are a human that's able to hear this message, then you have the ability, whatever you got going on, whatever demons, whatever issues, whatever, whatever it is that you got going on, you can get to a point of being on good, being where you want to be. So I don't know why I said that. Maybe it's possible that somebody needs to hear that. There could be something significant about somebody's grandma or grandpa in this whole story or in this whole situation. Maybe they're the ones that's telling you that maybe they gave you good advice about savings, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're the ones that gave you bad advice, told you to hide your stuff under the mattress instead of putting it in the bank and investing it, kind of a thing. Yeah, be careful what you say. And also be careful what you allow people to say around you and say to you. Because you never know. Just as you have been in the energy of, needing to get wealth, wanting to attain wealth, wanting to, and understanding what it feels like to do little crazy things to attain that wealth, to put yourself out there, more or less almost selling your soul to attain that wealth. But watch out, and watch out for what people do around you to attain that wealth, because you don't want somebody's you don't want somebody else is doing or what you're doing to keep you from what God has prepared you for. It's very possible that a Scorpio can be significant. Now, I want to see exactly what it is that what we're dealing with when it comes to money for you. So let's see if we can get some messages. Once we get these messages, we will go ahead and close out. But let's see what we got going on first. Okay. So kind of and I'm going to get another one too, because I'm feeling called to that it's multiple things that needs to be said out of this deck. But the first thing was to pay yourself. And that was something that we spoke about earlier. There's nothing wrong with actually putting a whatever amount, a disclosed amount of money aside for yourself in any way that you like. You may also want to write down your ideas, because if you're not in a position right now to actually manifest those ideas, like make those ideas come to life, you want to be able to go back and review what some of those ideas are. So write it down or get a recorder, but keep track of the ideas that you have, because if you have those ideas, it means that it's just preparing a space for you to receive it or for you to create those ideas. It's difficult a lot of times when you've had troubles with money, when you possibly are living in a lack mentality, when the people around you, don't really have a lot, like that can make you feel like maybe you don't deserve to receive, maybe that you will never receive or that you can't receive. But it's understanding and knowing that it's okay for you to receive, and you're going to receive. So it's you, and it's how the things that you're doing and how you're going about it. You also want to make sure that you're not complaining, okay? And complaining is something that will hinder you from being able to bring in your abundance, because what you're doing is you're not, instead of speaking positivity on your life, you're actually speaking negativity. So you're in that moment, you're choosing to speak negativity instead of saying something that can bring in the abundance. And that kind of goes along with just simply, if you're not if you're complaining is draining, and it pulls and it takes out energy. Use that energy to create. Use that energy to actually build on what it is that what your manifestations are, and what it is that you're trying to create. And by the way, guys, if you're still with me and you would like to have more consistent just messages that you can follow along with, please join me on Patreon. I have love messages, I have collective messages, abundance messages, I have there's one more, and the angel messages and the lucky numbers. So there's so much there, and just as a consistent and something that you know that you're going to have, I recommend joining Patreon. You also may want to start speaking over, so doing a couple of things. So speaking over your money as you purchase things. So if you're purchasing something, and let's say it's towards something, let's work on the intention by saying, hey, I bless this money, and I'm this money goes to buy this lamp, and this lamp is going to light my way so that I'm able to write down the things that I need to write down as a writer, or whatever it is that you are. Also, you may need to release also you may need to release, and that can just simply be things that you're holding on, like in terms of unforgiveness. You may need to release, detox, like your body, like things that you're eating. So physically releasing. You may need to release in terms of shedding maybe some negative people that you have around you. You may need to release in terms of having a job that you may need to get rid of. You may need to release. And so you take that how it applies to you. But this is your message, and I hope that you enjoyed it. So just thank you for being absolutely amazing. Of course. You have a great day.